Just do it.
This is our presentation on solar power by Carter Risley.
We're all the fun and Bob.
According to Yasser Alaman, fossil fuels are running out of supply quickly, which will sharply raise their prices, and we're going to need to pivot from using too many of them in the near future anyways. This is also partly due to their environmental costs, like environmental degradation and global warming, which we're all very familiar with. This is where solar energy comes in. It's a new and renewable source of energy that's very easily implemented, like on roofs of already existing houses or walls. Or it could also cover parking lots like we see it in the South Lawn Grove. So why does only 4% of the population use it, according to energy.gov? Well, some scholars, like Daniel Webber, believe this is due to solar energy's failure to provide a stable source of energy due to its need for an almost constant source of solar power. Also, Wahid Abd believes that it's due to solar energy's need for a stable economy to support the systems. This presentation will find a viable solution to this problem. Next slide.
The first potential solution to this problem would be to limit fossil fuel and non-renewable energy significantly to make solar energy a more viable alternative for many people. This can be done by increasing taxes on using fossil fuels while simultaneously providing tax breaks, government subsidies, and lower usage costs on solar energy. In a 2022 peer-reviewed article by Ibrahim Al-Saydan and other authors, they wrote that quote, the removal of unsustainable resource use will play an important role in the exploitation of renewable energy resources in general and solar energy-based technologies in particular, which will provide a reliable, eco-friendly, and sustainable solution for our future needs. End quote. This explains that there's a chance to limit the use of resources that are harmful to the environment, and it illustrates the numerous benefits that this will have. T.V. Ramachandra is the author with a PhD in ecology and energy from the Indian Institute of Science, and his peer-reviewed article from 2005 states that, quote, renewable energy technologies are clean sources of energy that have a much lower environmental impact than conventional energy technologies. Solar energy is one such sustainable energy, end quote. Additionally, this will provide a long-term solution that can support humans for years rather than a non-renewable method that will not be viable for much longer. However, there are still some drawbacks to this solution. With the current amount of common usage, low cost, and high efficiency of fossil fuels, many people would find it unnecessary or inconvenient to transition to solar energy. This is especially true for those who only look for short-term benefits that fossil fuels provide, rather than the long-term harms that will undoubtedly occur in the future. Also, solar energy is currently less efficient due to a lack of research and investment. LASG quantifies that, quote, the effectiveness of solar panels can be between 15 and 20%, whereas coal can reach 40% efficiency and natural gas can reach 60% efficiency. And this means that fossil fuels are significantly higher in terms of net energy production. This can change, however, as solar energy research is becoming more and more common.
As Niall previously said, Solution 2 will invest into the research of solar energy. According to Philip Dave, an associate professor at the University of Luxembourg, some of the most researched models of solar energy absorb 46% of incoming light with their photovoltaic cells, while commercial models only convert about 22% of the incoming light. Overall, it can be inferred that research is very effective, as these research models bring in over double the solar energy compared to the commercial models. Moreover, theoretical calculations by Philip Dave show that this number could rise up to the 70s in the coming years. Though Solution 1 relies on government subsidies, research that is being invested in right now is directly happening and action is being taken now. It seems more sensible to push with research on these models to increase performance of these models and how they will affect the world of solar energy. Next slide, please. According to research done by Carla Chalmers, solar energy has high initial costs. So, if this research takes action immediately, new discoveries may not be put into houses and buildings immediately, however. For example, consumers may stick to a short-term, cheap, and reliable energy source such as fossil fuels, like Niall said earlier, instead of waiting for the most sustainable option to be improved by research. So, people may fade away from solar energy because of its high initial costs and the space that it may take, as people won't allow for research and discoveries to be established, and will instead go for the cheaper and already understood energy source. Overall, research may not always equal results. However, it is best to begin research as soon as possible to take the more sustainable route in solar energy. Next slide.
Solutions proposed by in Solution 1, reducing fossil fuels helps make room for the solar energy industry to grow. The less fossil fuels that are extracted from the earth and used to make energy, the more we rely on alternative sources of energy such as solar or wind energy. Reducing the use of fossil fuels also reduces carbon emissions and saves the environment. According to the World Resources Institute, one way to reduce the use of fossil fuels is to, quote, eliminate fossil fuel subsidies and put a price on carbon, end quote. However, there are some troubles with reducing the use of fossil fuels. One of these troubles is that we strongly rely on the use of them. It will be extremely hard to reduce our use of fossil fuels because of how cheap and effective they are. According to the National Wildlife Federation, the U.S. uses coal for more than half of its electricity needs. Additionally, America's transportation system is overwhelmingly dependent on conventional petroleum oil, which is responsible for 20% of our climate change pollution. In solution 2, increasing research into cheaper and more productive ways to use and produce solar energy allows for a faster change in transforming our society from being fully reliant on fossil fuels to only partially reliant on fossil fuels. However, this solution doesn't work in every case because many places aren't fit for the use of solar energy quite yet. Next slide, please. Ideal solution. In the end, we concluded that solution 2 is the better solution. Solution 2 is much more realistic than solution 1 because we heavily rely on fossil fuels and it would be nearly impossible to reduce our use of them. It is much easier to look into better, more productive methods of solar energy, which would lead to us relying on fossil fuels less, so we can drive out the use of fossil fuels naturally. As more and more places around the world become more interested in solar energy, we will improve it and may be able to make it into the dominant source of energy in